Good evening, you are watching Ignis Mongolia on MNB World. I am Jugdur Gambold. And for our top stories for today. A discussion was held on the bill on the legal status of whistleblowers. 7 subsidiary companies of Erdenes Mongolia LLC will be liquidated. International Artists' Day was celebrated under the motto, "Love is the only solution" on April 14 in Mongolia. For the news, stay with us. In a bid to promote transparency and accountability, a discussion on the draft law on the legal status of whistleblowers was held on April 4th. The proposed law seeks to protect individuals who expose the wrongdoing or illegal activities in both the public and private sectors.
The discussion on the draft law on the legal status of whistleblowers was led by Muhtitsi, the head of the working group responsible for preparing the draft law for discussion and drafting opinions, and the member of parliament. The meeting was attended by high-ranking officials and representatives from various government agencies, civil society organizations, human rights organizations, and media organizations. Speaker of Parliament Zandan Shaptra and member of parliament, chairman of the Standing Committee on Justice and White, were among the lawmakers who participated in the discussion. They expressed their support for the proposed law and emphasized the importance of protecting whistleblowers in the fight against corruption and promoting transparency and accountability in the country. In his opening speech, the Speaker of Parliament, Zandan Shaptra, emphasized the importance of combating corruption and the role of the public in this fight. During my speech at the beginning of the spring session of Parliament, I declared that this session would focus on implementing legal reforms against corruption. The laws related to anti-corruption encompass the legal status of whistleblowers, the ethics of public servants, regulating private interest in public service, and the National Anti-Corruption Program. Additionally, a group of legal bills aimed at reducing bureaucracy and promoting digital transformation are in progress. Based on the findings of the research, a transparent environment for whistleblowing has been established. Hence, it is crucial to secure the legal position of whistleblowers. The Deputy Prime Minister of Justice and Internal Affairs, Salonga, State Secretary of the Ministry, Santaruk, and representatives from civil society and human rights organizations shared their views and recommendations on the draft law during the discussion. They stressed the need to ensure the effectiveness of the law and provide adequate protection and support to whistleblowers. The government proposed the draft law following the enactment of previous laws that support whistleblowing. The registration package law passed in 2018 made various types of information available to the public, leading to the discovery of unlawful practices. Mongolia also introduced other policy documents for the medium and long term. Recently, the government declared the current year as the year of fighting corruption and announced 5-ish operations. The Ministry of Justice and Internal Affairs is currently developing the draft law on the legal position of whistleblowers. The media organizations present at the meeting also highlighted the importance of protecting the confidentiality of whistleblowers and urged the government to ensure that the law would not be used to silence or intimidate those who expose wrongdoing. The discussion on the draft law on the legal status of whistleblowers was seen as a positive step towards promoting transparency and accountability in Mongolia. The feedback and recommendations provided by the participants will be taken into consideration during the finalization of the law.
7 companies belonging to Ignis Mongolia LLC will be liquidated, according to the latest announcement from the government of Mongolia. The move is a part of the company's restructuring and optimization plans aimed at modernizing its subsidiaries and improving their efficiency.
Ignis Mongolia LLC, which was founded in 2007, has been undergoing reforms and restructuring since 2022 to provide unified management for its 39 subsidiary companies, attract investment from multiple countries, and improve their management and governance. Head of the Cabinet Secretariat Amroy Saklan and Minister of Mining and Heavy Industry Kambatar worked at Ignis Mongolia LLC on April 4th. Since its establishment 15 years ago, it has been determined that the organization has fallen behind as it lacked an independent project program. However, with the recent modification of rules on November 30th, 2022, a strategic plan has been developed to coordinate the operations of these companies. Under the new regulations approved by the government, 51% of the board of directors of Ignis Mongolia LLC will be the company representatives, while the remaining 49% will be independent members. The move is aimed at ensuring that decisions made by the board are professional and not influenced by politics. The government has stated that state-owned companies will be evaluated based on their efficiency, and decisions regarding their operation will be made accordingly. As such, the government has decided to liquidate 7 of the subsidiary companies of Erdenes Mongolia LLC as the first step towards improving efficiency. The primary objective of the National Industrialization Committee established by the government is to refine the mining products exported from Mongolia and convert them into finished products. As a result, Ignis Mongolia LLC is being transformed into a framework that spearheads fundraising and project execution for other public and private sector enterprises. In addition, the Prime Minister of Mongolia, Erdenes, has directed the reduction of the number of Board of Directors members from 270 to 27 with a view to reducing costs. The annual cost of the Board of Directors is currently 2 billion MNT, but the implementation of an hourly salary system and the reduction in the number of members will reduce the cost to 0.5 billion MNT. Overall, the move to liquidate 7 of the subsidiary companies belonging to the Ignis Mongolia LLC and the reduction in the number of Board of Director members are expected to improve the efficiency of the company's operations and bring about positive results in the long term.
April 4th marks the International Artists' Day, a day to celebrate the contributions of artists to society. This year's celebration was held in the Great Hall of the Genghis Khan National Museum under the motto, "Love is the only solution," and more than 200 artists were invited to participate.
The best art performances of the International Artists' Day of the holiday were jointly presented by artists from professional art organizations such as the Mongolian Grand Theatre of National Arts, the State Philharmonic, the Opera Theatre, and the Mongolian Conservatory. The performances were diverse, ranging from traditional Mongolian throat singing to modern dance routines and everything in between. The Artists' Day, which was temporarily suspended due to the global pandemic, was solemnly celebrated for the 3rd year in Mongolia. Despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, the organizers of the event were determined to make it happen this year, and they took all necessary precautions to ensure the safety of the participants and the audience. There are individuals among us who possess the ability to transform life, illuminating both the brightest and darkest aspects. These artists come in various forms, including singers, dancers, musicians, designers, architects, and more. I believe that this is an exceptionally insignificant day for the Mongolian culture. Artists are remarkable individuals who deserve admiration. They utilize their innate talents with diligence and share their love with each and every audience. The event was attended by dignitaries, artists, and members of the public, all of whom were treated to a spectacular display of art and creativity. The audience was particularly impressed by the performances of the international artists, who brought their unique styles and perspectives to the stage. As the event came to a close, the organizers thanked everyone for their participation and support, and expressed their hope that International Artists' Day would continue to be celebrated for many years to come. With the theme of "Love is the only solution," this year's event was a reminder of the power of art to bring people together and to inspire positive change in the world.
Please take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by the Central Bank of Mongolia. Now here comes foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen finished a tour of her country's remaining diplomatic allies on Tuesday in Belize, as part of her multi-country tour to strengthen diplomatic ties in Latin America.
Belize and Guatemala are two of just 13 countries that formally recognize Taiwan, a number that has dipped as China has put pressure on and funneled money into isolating the island. On Tuesday, Tsai spoke about her optimism for continued collaboration on a variety of issues, including those related to democracy, human rights, and women's empowerment.
Seeing these exhibitions today, I'm more than encouraged by the results of our collaboration. I hope that our countries will continue to share experiences and exchange ideas on these important issues. Let's keep working together to help women realize their goals and inspire them to be all that they can be, including a woman Prime Minister here. Thank you.
Tsai Ing-wen's Latin American trips come just a week after Honduras announced it was cutting ties with Taiwan in favor of China, potentially prompted by a $300 million hydroelectric dam project in central Honduras built by a Chinese company. China has repeatedly asserted its claim to Taiwan, though Taiwan maintains its own democratic system of government since the side split after a civil war in 1949.
Please take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a nice day.